This is an intergovernmental matter, interstate matter. And the most recent order regarding child support is the parties' agreed uniform order of support from the Second Judicial Circuit in Richmond, Illinois. That order requires $250 per month in child support for one child. We've had this case
Mr. Franklin?
Yeah.
You need to go somewhere where it's quiet because we can hear people laughing in the background.
Well, yeah, that's because of where I'm at, and I can't go nowhere else because I don't have service. The only thing I have is Wi-Fi.
You can't. You have to be in a crowd where people are laughing.
Y'all wouldn't understand. It don't matter. It don't matter where I go. You're gonna hear people talking. I don't have service. I only have Wi-Fi.
Okay, well, let's try it this way. We'll put you on mute. If you could just listen, and then when it's your turn, I'm gonna turn it over to you, and then we'll hear from you. Okay?
All right. Yep.
You'll be able to unmute yourself at that time. Okay? So I'm just gonna put you on mute for now. All right, go ahead, Mr.
All right. So the matter came to our office and began charging in April of 2023. Since that $250 a month obligation began charging, we've not received any payments. There is a total arrearage balance that transferred over when we received the case of $14,714.05. Of that total amount, it looks to be that $14,668.55 is owed to the other state, Illinois, for child support that would be paid to the recipient, the other party in this case. So again, we've been charging since April of 2023, the $250 a month. When we received the case, it looked like the arrearage balance was $13,429.55, and it is now $14,714.05.
Okay, so Mr. Franklin, at this time, you'll be able to unmute, and then you can tell me what's going on and how we can get payments coming in. Go ahead, sir.
All right. I caught part of that and I had to unmute it.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering you heard we've got a 200. This is a case transfer from Illinois, 250 a month. We've had no payments since we received it in April, and we've got an arrears of 14,000. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
All right. Well, first off, I went to prison in 2013, and the whole time I was in prison, I was still being charged for child support when it should have been stopped, and it wasn't stopped. So the balance should not be as high as what it is, for one. And for two, they didn't stop it when I went back to prison the second time. They kept charging me. And since, I don't know, September of last year, I've been homeless, dealing with addiction, whatnot, my own fault. I've had a couple of jobs. I can't really hold a job due to my temper and my mental state. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been homeless for the last year and living out of a vehicle. So any money I do make goes to me being able to survive. So, I mean, unless people want me to wind up dead on the side of the road, froze to death, I can make payments. But if everybody wants me dead, froze on the side of the road, well, then I'm going to do what I have to do to survive.
Okay. Well, nobody wants that. We're just trying to figure out how to get $250 a month. Are you working right now?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to find a job. I've got a couple of them, so I should know something in the next 30, 45 days. That is when I should be able to receive my first paycheck. Everywhere. I've filed for put applications in pretty much every auto mechanic shop. I'm certified in construction, certified in auto mechanics, certified in culinary arts. So yeah, I'm putting jobs in everywhere.
Okay. Give me an example of the last place you applied to.
Mercedes-Benz, Sarah Toyota, Kia, Williams Chevrolet. I've put in a bunch of applications in at restaurants, construction companies, everywhere.
And you haven't heard anything
I'm
back?
just waiting to hear back. No, not yet. I'm just waiting to hear back from them.
Well, what can you pay anything in the next 14 days?
How much would you need in the next 14 days?
$100.
I'll make it work.
All right.
I'll make it work. I'll come up with $100 in 14 days.
All right. So here's the deal. That now, if you have an issue with the overall arrears, you're going to have to address that with the Illinois court. Do you understand that?
No, I understand, and I wasn't trying to be I wasn't trying to be an asshole about it, but I'm kind of irritated because Illinois didn't legally follow the proper steps in the whole process and whatnot. And then I've had multiple times, Sarah has gotten a hold of me when she was married to the guy she was married to last, and they were trying to get me to sign my rights off, and they were sending me paperwork, and that's the last I heard from her.
Okay. Well, what I have to address is the case that's been transferred to us since April. So let's try to get you back on track here. It sounds
I can give you $100 in 14 days.
Yeah, that's part of it. I'm going to expect that, but then I'll turn this out 60 days. But we can't. I can't have the same story in 60 days because if you're not paying, then it doesn't matter to me whether you're in jail or not. Okay. Because
I don't bother me if I'm in jail either.
Same amount of money coming if you're in jail or if you're not paying. So
well, yeah, but when you're incarcerated, payments are supposed to stop.
That's not for the amount of time you'd be spending here. It'd be about 30 days. So you'd just be in jail hanging out.
Yeah. No, I know.
So, I mean, it sounds like if it's true that you've got all those certifications, you shouldn't have any trouble finding a job. So I'm just checking back in with you in 60 days and hoping we're in a better spot. Understood?
Yes, sir.
I want the $100 in the next 14 days.
All right.
All right. We'll stand adjourned.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Show cause was served on Amber Pinnell December 5th, 2023. And the most recent order regarding child support in this matter is the party's first order modifying their order for support that was entered in October of 2022. It requires $346 a month in child support and medical support. The last payments received were in August of 2023. Those payments totaled $485. Amber Pinnell's overall payment history has been fairly poor. There have been some periods of payments. There remains an outstanding balance of $19,136.50. Of that amount, $18,691 is due in child support. There are $300 in costs associated with the issuance of historical bench warrants, and the remainder of the total balance is in fees. I can provide the payment history for the court's review.
All right, thank you, Ms. Pinnell. Ms. Amber Pinnell, what's been going on?
Well, just within the last few months since August, my hours have been cut because season obviously has changed. And I've gone down to maybe like 1 to 2 days a week, but I'm slowly picking back up and getting more hours at the moment. So I expect to be making a payment probably within the next week or two.
What do you anticipate that payment being?
Probably, I mean, I know that the order is for like 380, but I know that I could probably do 200 no matter what. I'd like to meet the 380, but that's more so probably in the next month or two when we start getting busier and I have bigger paychecks, of course.
Where are you working?
I'm a supervisor. I clean Airbnbs downtown Traverse City.
Is that a place where we could get an income withholding order in?
Well, I'm an independent contractor. I'm not sure how that works with you
Okay.
guys.
Okay. Probably not.
I'm not
then.
sure. Okay.
Okay, Ms. Sandra Pinnell, anything you'd like to add or say?
Yeah, I do have a issue. Back in the end of July or beginning of August, Amber won at the MGM casino $45,000. I just found out in December that she had been sending Amaya money through Cash App. I knew nothing about, to a total of $1,878. I got a child support payment the first week of August, and that's been it.
Oh, okay, I didn't want to cut you off. Is that?
Yeah, I don't understand why I only got one child support payment when she won $45,000. send $1,878 to Amaya through Cash App secretly. I knew nothing about, and Amaya went through all the cash without me knowing it.
Okay. Well, it sounds to me like we've got a steady job, so there's no reason to think you can't work. You're just not paying. I don't find any undue hardship on the record. So, ma'am, Ms. Amber Pennell, I'm going to find you in contempt. You're to pay what's ordered plus $87 per month. If you fail to do so, a bench warrant could be issued for your arrest. You may have to serve up to 30 days in jail. I'm going to set bond at $600. And so if you just pay as ordered, there won't be a bench warrant, but it sounds like there's no reason why you can't be making the 346 and now it's going to be plus the 87 per month. So unless there's anything further, we'll stand adjourned. We need steady payments coming in.
So
Okay,
Miss
Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Pena, I'd like to just clarify for you what your total obligation is going to be with your current charge plus the $87 a month. That is $433 a month is what would be expected to be paid. So Amber, what that actually means is on a regular basis, if you pay $100 on a weekly basis, that comes out to almost exactly $435 a month over the course of the year.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I got it now.
54 DS. Motion
All right,
order show cause was served by Mr. Sabrin December 5th, 2023. Most recent order regarding child support in this matter is the party's second order modifying the order for custody support and parenting time that was entered just in February of this year, February 1st, 2023, that requires $682 a month for two children, Bella and Emma. The overall history of payments in this matter has been very poor. There's an outstanding balance of $17,862.07. Of that total amount, $11,789.75 is owed to the other party. There's a significant outstanding birth and delivery expense owed to the state as well. The remainder in fees, as well as $200 in costs that were assessed for the issuance of historical bench warrants. The most recent payment we've had was in December of 2020. It was a non-voluntary payment of $1,149.49. I can pull the payment history up for the court's review.
Okay, sir. So what's been going on?
Sir, I've been out of prison just over a year now, and I'm honestly struggling to even pay my bills right now. Like and by no means is that an excuse, but I'm in great relationship with Miss Witten. I have a better relationship now than I've ever had with my kids, and she would attest to that. Does she need support? Yes, and I agree with her. I agree that I do owe support. I'm not trying to deny that at all. I can't even afford to live right now, giving her $600 a month. I couldn't even afford food at that point. I have another case as well. You know, like my caseworker, I sent him the pictures. I sent him the IEN number. He was supposed to get this stuff directly taken out of my checks.
Okay, well,
And
let's start there. Where are you working right now?
I work for North Shore Services.
Okay, and that's a place where we could get a income withholding order?
I mean, yeah, we could start taking it. Yeah. Like, I mean, here's the thing. How am I supposed to live? You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to pay my bills when that's more than half the money, almost half the money I make?
Well, I don't know when the last time you had a child support review was. Have you contacted your caseworker to try to get a child support review or anything?
My caseworker said the amount was so high that he couldn't believe it, but that's what the calculation came to be.
Mr. Hogue, you raised your hand. When was the calculation? Do you know?
Yeah. So the calculation was done, statute required upon his release from incarceration that we schedule a review within 30 days of the release. And then his support obligation was going to start charging again the 90 days first of the month, 90 days following his release, which was the charging obligation began again.
April 1st.
Let's see. Yeah. April 1st, 2023. It was the obligation was ceased during his period of incarceration. The last income withholding order we have on file is for American Waste. The 682 is high. I don't disagree with that. It was based on
that's based on $20 an hour.
Correct.
I only make $20 an hour. You know?
Okay, sure. So let's just try to figure this out, though. The most we can. I can't change the amount owed today. So let's not. I'm trying to manage expectations. What I'm trying to do is let's get us back on track. I mean, 682 sounds high to me. Okay, but I don't know. When did you receive any paperwork that said hey, let us know what you make and all these sorts of things? Because a lot of times people just fail to respond.
Yeah, I gave my employment information to my caseworker.
Okay. And that
All
was
of it.
that $420 an hour?
Yes.
Okay, so how would that be wrong then?
I'm just like, that's what I'm saying is like, how would so basically you're telling me, or not, you're not telling me, but what my understanding is now in order to pay child support, I'm gonna have to be homeless as well. You know what I mean? If I'm putting out more than I can, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I understand I'm behind, and that probably does play into the overall cost, right? But Miss Witten knows that price is too high. She's like, I don't understand why, you know what I mean? Like, we co-parent very well together.
That's
So
good.
I know she's not like,
So
I
I
don't,
understand I understand a lot of what you're saying, but so the amount owed is not going into what your income is or anything like that. The only part about that is obviously before prison you weren't really paying either. Okay. I
no,
mean,
no,
so
I was
we don't
deadbeat
have a
before
history
prison.
of you paying child support. So I'm trying to get
Yeah.
work with you here on
Yeah.
what's going on. Where say where you're working again?
North Shore Services.
Okay.
Do you still have the employer identification number, Mr. Sabrin? Because they're not in the database under North Shore Services.
I sent, if you give me 1 second, I can look through, can you text Julia? Actually, she has it. I might have it. 1 second, just 1 second. Let me pull up my-
You need it.
Here's what we'll do,
Is
sir.
it,
Here's what
Yes.
we'll
is
do.
it the
It sounds like
employee state ID number?
it's okay. Here's what we'll ask you to do. I'll adjourn this out 60 days and give you time to submit that, and then see if you're working with your co-parent. The two of you could try to work out a child support issue. If you do work well, now if you don't work well, and that I can't erase the balance unless she says
No, right.
you can, but we could try to work with you on a different amount. It's just not something I can do today. But if we can get us your employer number and we have income withholding, or it's not going to take more than a certain percentage of what you make. It's not going to take all of it anyway.
I have the
we're not allowed to,
employer.
and that's not our plan.
I have the employer state ID number.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
33.
So, Mr. Sabrin, what the court is telling you is what the court is trying to tell you is if you and your co-parent work well together and you can submit some type of agreement indicating a different amount of support that is acceptable to both you and Ms. Witten, then we could honor that agreement and do a stipulated child support order. So that's just an option you've got, but that has to come from you and Ms. Witten.
Okay, now I also have another question because she's been willing to forgive me for my child support. Like, she doesn't want me to go to jail. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is the best relationship I've had with my kids ever. She doesn't want anything bad for me. So she's willing to forgive me for not all of it, but she's willing to forgive me for some. She just doesn't know how to do that.
She just puts it in writing and submits it to us. If she was here, we could take her word for it. But
okay, yeah, she's booked at work right now.
No, that's okay. But you just have to ask her to submit a letter.
Okay.
That's all it takes is a letter, or I don't even know, would an email work, Mr. Hogue? I mean, we probably want some signature. Okay, whatever.
An email will work as well?
Yes.
Okay.
It needs to come from Ms. Witten.
Yes. Now, is there, my parole officer called me and told me I had a warrant out. Is there a warrant in this case?
Let me double check. No, there's not a warrant in this case.
Yeah, we're not issuing a warrant. We're trying to get you back on track here.
Okay.
There's no pending warrant right now. Now, if you would have failed to appear, I guess there might have been, but there.
Okay.
You've appeared, so I'm not issuing a warrant for you today at all.
Okay. My parole officer called me and said I had a warrant, and I was like, well, I have court on the 4th, so it doesn't make sense to me, but I guess I don't know.
the paperwork, I don't know what that would be, but the paperwork that we sent likely said if you fail to appear, a bench warrant could be issued for your arrest.
Okay.
But I don't know, that doesn't go to a parole officer. But here's what I'd like to do. Make sure we got that number in. Let's try to get an income withholding order out. You can work with your co-parent on what to do in the future. Okay. But I'm going to adjourn this out 60 days and see where we're at. Okay.
Okay. And now within that 60 days, if Miss Witten and I come to an agreement and get an amount set, we'll be able to handle that within that 60 days or
Yes.
Yeah, if you had it done today, it would go into effect. Yeah,
okay.
I just want to adjourn it out 60 days to make sure that you're doing, what we've discussed. Because otherwise, if it's the same story, I don't really have many options. Okay.
Right. And now that he has this number, they're going to take it directly from my check. I don't have to do anything on my end as far as that happening.
Correct.
Other than monitor your paychecks to make sure it's coming out. Because think about it this way: if nothing's coming out, and then you come back and you say, because people do this, is why I'm saying it, is people will say, well, I thought it was coming out when you're getting paychecks and it's clearly not coming out. So just make sure it is. Okay. Because if it's not, you're still
behind
on the hook to pay it. You got to pay it some other way.
Okay.
All right. Okay. But there's time, I think, in there to at least make some steps towards trying to figure out what's going on here with both the arrears and with the monthly amount.
Okay.
Because I'm not hearing... Okay. Here's the issue. I'm not hearing that there's really an error. It's just too much right now. So I'm trying to work with you on how we can keep you out of these hearings and out of jail, because if you are working, which obviously you are, there's 0 point in me having you sit in jail at all. Okay. Yeah, especially if you're spending time with your kids and doing all the good things, right? So keep you out of jail, but we got to have you do some steps on your end too. Okay.
Absolutely. And, all right. I appreciate your help today.
Sure. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you too.
Thanks.
Motion order show cause was served on Mr. Kogelman December 5th, 2023 for this show cause hearing. The party's most recent order regarding child support is their consent judgment of divorce that was entered in February of 2018. That requires $301 a month in child support. The most recent payments made were in June and August of this past summer. Both months, $500 was paid towards the obligation. I would indicate that Mr. Kogelman's overall payment history since the case began has been intermittent, with occasional lump sums paid. Currently, there is a total outstanding arrearage balance of $3,103 even. Of that amount, $2,956 is owed to Ms. Kogelman, the remainder in fees. I can provide the payment history for the court's review.
Okay, so Mr. Kogelman, what's been going on?
I'm independent contractor, and my work the last 3 months is pretty much dried up, and I've been having a hard time. And I was promised jobs that fell through, and therefore I was like, it's hard for me to go get a new job, regular job, because I kept thinking more jobs would come. But since then, I've applied to the post office, and I got almost a perfect score, so I'm hoping I'm going to get that. But I do have some jobs coming up that'll get me through, but I've just been having a hard time.
Okay, so you currently have an application in at the post office, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I got 98 out of 100 on the exam, so I'm hoping I'm going to do well with that.
Yeah, when do you hope to hear back from them, and as far as the landing the job or whatever?
I know people that have worked at the post office. And it takes like 5 to 6 weeks to go through the process, but I actually have another job, which I hope starts next week, which is like an $8,000 contract. So like that will get me through. It's just I've been waiting on this for like 6 weeks.
Okay, sure.
I do flooring.
Okay, but what's I asked about the post office. When do you plan to hear back from them?
I don't know. I literally just applied for this job 3 days ago, and then I took the civil service exam and scored almost perfect, and it's going to take, I said, 5 to 7 days before I hear anything back. Okay,
that's what I was asking. All right. Ms. Kogelman, anything you'd like to say or add?
I'm having a hard time. My child is 16. We had to get him a car. I'm paying the car insurance. I went out and got a second job. So I don't understand why Chris can't even just get one job. It's been tough. Chris doesn't help with any support for anything extra on top of the child support. And and I don't know how to make him, he doesn't have a job. And the issue is he's got to get some work. And I don't know what to do to get him to get some work.
Okay, thank you. All right, so what I'm going to do, sir, is it sounds like you're looking for work or trying to find work, so there's no reason for me to talk about jail today. I'm comfortable with that. But the other part of what I'm hearing is that you do have the ability to pay and you're not paying, and there's no undue hardship here. So I'm going to put you on a payment plan. You do have the ability.
Okay.
I'm going to put you on a payment plan, so you'll have to pay $300 what's ordered plus $87 a month. That's with a contempt finding. If you fail to do so, a bench warrant could be issued for your arrest, and you may have to serve up to 30 days in jail. I'll set bond at $500. I don't want you in jail. All this means, sir, is that you have to pay as you're already ordered to do. So if you comply with what the court order says, you're good. But if we can't land the job or are having trouble, continued trouble, then you'll have to figure that out. But this is supposed to be meant as an incentive for you to get it done. But like I said, I don't want you in jail, and you won't be there unless you fail to pay. All right, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you all.
I have at least 30 days. Excuse me, Your Honor. Or
yeah, the payment.
I have at least 30 days to make that next payment.
Fine. The payment plan will start February 1st, not January 1st. I'm willing to do that.
Very good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Typically, it would start right now, but I'm okay. I'm comfortable giving you a grace period, sir, but you got to get serious about getting payments coming in.
Well, I understand. I'm not trying to be deadbeat. I mean, my dad helps us out. My dad just paid my son's car insurance. Like, I do reach out for help, so I'm not deadbeat. We do have means of like helping things out.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appeared at a show cause hearing on December 7th of 2023. And was ordered to provide medical information as well as where things stand with respect to his application for disability with the Social Security Administration. The most recent order regarding child support in this matter is an order for custody, support, and parenting time that was entered in March of 2011. That requires $299 a month for one child. The most recent payment received was $1,383. I believe it was a non-voluntary lump sum in October of 2023. The total balance at this point is $1,448.67. Again, the main issue at the last hearing was for Mr. Dibert to provide information to support his allegation that he's got some manifest hardship. At the time I was preparing for the case, I didn't see anything in the file that had been submitted by Mr. Dibert regarding manifest hardship.
Okay.
From neither doctor? There's nothing from my doctors?
We're looking at the file right now.
Sorry.
Do you know when you submitted it, sir?
You gave me two forms, one for my primary, one for my, I guess the surgeon that was a procedure. I gave it to him. It would have been the day after Christmas, 26th to fax in. And then I know the one for my primary, they called me this morning that they were faxing in because my doctor was leaving for vacation and he never submitted that because I called them yesterday to make sure the stuff was in.
Okay.
So at least one for the Dr. Amalfi, that should have been a week and a half ago.
And we don't have anything, Mr. Hogue?
We don't have anything at this point, Your Honor. If something got faxed this morning, Mr. Dibert, just so you know, it wouldn't have made it into our digital file at this point. It probably will show up tomorrow. But if the other matter you're thinking was done even longer ago than that, then we should have it. And we don't have anything at this point.
Yeah, that should have been coming from the Alfani vein specialist.
All right. Here, I don't know that I have much. We'll just adjourn this 30 days. Sir, if you could contact those doctors and make sure that they're getting it in. Otherwise, you have an option as well of getting copies and bringing them in if we can't.
Okay.
You can contact the doctors and make sure that they're submitting it. We just need to see that. I believe you, so we'll figure it out.
Okay, I will call them right away.
Yes.
All right, thanks a lot.
Notice of adjournment was mailed to Mr. Mayville, October 27th, 2023, adjourning the matter from November 2nd to today's date. The most recent order regarding child support in this matter is the party's order for custody, support, and parenting time entered in October of 2019. That requires $333 a month for 4 children. The most recent payment received was a $200 payment in December of 2023. I would indicate that Mr. Mayville, on a fairly regular basis, communicates with our office, attempts to stay current. He most months when he's not able to make his full payment, he at least pays something towards the obligation. However, many months have been paid less than what is due. There remains an outstanding balance of $4,530.28. Of that balance, $3,149.97 is owed to the other party. The remainder in fees as well as medical support to the state of Michigan. I can pull the payment history up for the review of the court.
All right. So obviously we appreciate you staying in contact with us and paying something, but how can we get you back on track, sir?
I'm trying right now. I'm currently door dashing is my employment right now. I'm trying to make some with that. My landscaping job will start back up hopefully in March, and that's the job that I should be able to make more. I'm just hoping as just if I miss days and stuff, I don't make money.
Well, why are you missing days?
Just if there were some days where I was sick or helping with my kids and their mom when some days like she'd have work that would come up, and so that way I should be able to work too. Just trying to take care of my kids and when they need me, and then also it comes down to like the moment if I don't have enough to put down on support that day, it comes down to like, to me, more important to make sure my kids are properly fed and taken care of. So that often is the case. I'm trying to get back on track here. Just dealing with that. I had to move out of my apartment recently because of health and mold issues with it. I'm trying.
Sure. Are you working full time?
It's just at the moment, I just have the DoorDash job and it's not very consistent. And with currently I'm in between the Lake Ann area and then going to Midland when I have my kids right now because of housing. So we're able to stay with my mom when I have them. So I'm kind of in between, going between Midland and Traverse, trying to do some door dashing until my landscaping job starts back up.
Okay, because I would think if you're working full time, you shouldn't have much of an issue paying $330 a month, especially for 4 kids.
Yeah.
So what are you looking?
I work about, it ends up being about averaging like 30 hours max, 25, 30 maybe during the summer on some months. Middle of summer it picks up better. Early spring it's a little less hours. It's not usually like full-time hours. I never get 40.
Have you tried applying for anywhere else?
I've looked for a few things. I've applied for some. I haven't heard back. There was one that I applied to in the spring, but that one didn't end up working out. I was working at a horse stable, so that didn't work out because of the housing stuff now. It's just a little difficult at the moment because of I'm not sure where I'm staying and it's winter, so it's kind of cold to camp out.
You're not currently living anywhere?
I'm not. I don't currently have my own residence. I've been staying at my mom's here and there, or when the kids are with me on my days, I've been staying with them. Or last night I stayed at the kids with at their moms.
All right, let's see if we can try to get maybe some family support court information to Mr. Mayville. What that is it's more of a support type of enforcement where we try to work with you on getting a job, because it sounds like to me you're trying, but not having housing obviously makes things a little more difficult. So let's see if we can help you get back on track with housing and employment, and see if we can get some of this arrears taken care of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjourn this out 60 days, but we're going to mail you paperwork. Hopefully we have a good address for you, I suppose. I don't know where we're mailing stuff if you don't have a place to live.
I think I have my my parents' address as a mailing, so I'm able to get mail from them when I'm there.
Okay, that's a place where you receive mail?
Yeah, that's what I use as my mailing address right now until I have my own place.
All right, because it's going to have some information on family support court that I need you to look over, and then I need you to reach out to Steve Greenman, okay? So hopefully you've got a pen or something to write that down, but It's through you just call our friend of the court office and ask for Mr. Greenman, and he'll reach back out to you when he can. If he's not in the office, he'll reach back out to you. Okay.
Okay.
Because we'll see if we can get you some support here to get back on track.
Okay. And
because I don't want that, you don't want your balance to keep growing, because then.
No, I don't. Yeah. And is there a way if like if my tax returns come back, and is there a way to use that to pay off the balance?
I'm guessing that'll occur, yeah, because of your arrears, but I can't guarantee.
Yes. Okay.
It's likely that'll be an involuntary payment, but again, I don't know that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and if you're
Right.
filing as a single person and there's no one else on your tax return, those intercepted taxes get applied fairly quickly. And yeah, as long as you owe more than $500 in the month of October, then the state just sets an automatic withholding against any return you would receive. So that should come in, and that will obviously apply towards your obligation.
Okay.
Make sure
right now, winter is
make sure that once you receive this information, you reach out to our office. Okay, sir?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, Your Honor. 13683
Thank you, Honor.
DS. This matter was adjourned from from December 7th to January 4th, today's date. The notice of adjournment was mailed November 17th. Mr. McFerrin's most recent order regarding child support is the party's fourth order modifying the order for custody support and parenting time that was entered in August of 2021. That requires $329 a month for one child. The most recent payments received at the time I was preparing for the case was in December of 2023. $175.86 was paid in December. I would indicate that Mr. McFerrin's overall payment history has been intermittent. Currently, there's an outstanding balance of $5,454.89. Of that amount, $3,505.77 is owed to the other party. There are outstanding balances related to fees and costs and medical support to the state of Michigan. I can provide the payment history for the court's review.
All right, thank you. Mr. McFerrin, so what's been going on?
I've just been hard keeping a job. I'm currently at a job that I I'm still at for about a month and a half. And I am currently trying to find extra ways to make payments for child support and everything else.
Okay, so you're currently employed, you said?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Where are you working?
Same day delivery.
Okay. Do you know, is that a place where we could get an income withholding order in place, or are you an independent contractor?
I think it is. It's through Amazon.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Hug.
It looks like we've got an income withholding order that may have just generated the beginning of December to same day delivery. So this is the like the private car quick delivery stuff for Amazon. Is that what you're talking about, Mr. San?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Mr. McFerrin. I'm sorry. Looks like good news. Looks like we've started receiving payments via income withholding order, $87.93 a week. So we're good.
All right. Well, that's great. That's great news, sir. Because that'll just come out of your paycheck then. So I don't have any reason to suspect that we won't receive steady payments. We'll let that keep going. I just encourage you obviously to keep that job. And then just a reminder that'll actually be taking some out for arrears too. So you should be whittling down your child support amount and your arrears. So we're in good shape right now. That said, I'm going to dismiss the contempt, because as long as you keep the job, sir, and make those steady payments, we should be good.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. McFerrin. Thank you, Your Honor.
If you'd state your name for the record, please.
Matthias Johnson on behalf of Daniel Smith, who is also on the Zoom screen.
And Mr. Smith?
Dan Smith.
And Ms. Smith?
Marie Carmen Smith.
Thank you. Mr. Hogue?